Hi, I'm Chris McCoy.
Hey, I'm Alex Greene.
And welcome to Memphis Flyer Podcast. We're back. We're here every week to tell you what's in the paper, what stories we're following and everything. And wow, so this week on our cover is the Winter Arts Guide.
Yes.
And
Abigail Marici did an amazing job, as usual, compiling information from all corners of the arts and entertainment in the city. And as a calendar editor myself, I have to tip my hat to her for how complete a survey it is. It's really impressive, what's going on in this city.
Yeah, I think so. And so, yeah, you keep, or one of the people that keeps the calendar.
Yes, I'm primarily the calendar keeper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a sacred ritual it begins every Thursday, where I'm handed a chalice with with dozens of links in the chalice to various venues.
So hit him up if you have an event that you want on our calendar, yes, which is the best calendar in the city.
I think so. I mean, who else is doing that?
Obviously.
You can go to Huey's, you can go to a museum or anywhere, and there's a flyer. Open it up to the middle, and there's your pick of things to do in the city.
Yeah.
I must say, I love doing it. I didn't used to, but I've come to love it, and it might be Stockholm syndrome. I don't know, but I
Stockholm syndrome because you're on the business end of every PR person in the tri-state area.
Yes, exactly. But I do love this survey, this bird's eye view of all that is just bubbling and brimming over in this city, things to do, things to see, things to hear. It's really impressive, this metropolis of ours.
Well, this weekend, Saturday, is Raised by Sound over at Crosstown, which is the WYXR fundraiser annually, and they got Stephen Malkmus and Kurt Vile as the headliners.
Yeah, and that's sold out, of course, as always.
So good luck.
Yeah, but I'll be writing about this tomorrow. The after party is going to be lit because we have the one and only Larry Hurd leading some collaborators, including Kip Ullhorn from Cloudline Canyon and Kid Millions from Oneida. The three of them are banding together in this epic collab for the VIP party, the after party. And there are still tickets available for that. And I highly recommend it. I've got a great interview in the can with Kip and Larry Hurd. And of course, Larry Hurd is, some say, the founder or a founder of house music from the Chicago scene in the 80s and on. He's still putting out records today as Mr. Fingers. Mm-hmm. Is his nom de beats.
Yeah, and I think it's great that Larry's here in Memphis. We talk about so much about our music here, with all the soul, all the rock and roll, and all the blues and just everything. But we've always had a very active electronic music scene here, and Larry seriously is one of the OG, one of the greats. Of all times.
Yeah, we're lucky to have him. And he's still innovating, still creating stuff. And of course, Cloudline Canyon, full disclosure, I play with them sometimes. But, they're all about innovation. Kip is all about striking out for new territories in the electronica world. And then Kid Millions, of course, and Oneida, they're on the more of the noise spectrum and of innovation, but they just tore it up at Gonerfest a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was an amazing, incredible set.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be a unique mixture of talents there.
Yeah.
But then to go to the absolutely other extreme from this electronic music is Sunday is going to be the
Acoustic Sunday Live.
Right, organized by Bruce Newman, who does Folk Song Fiesta. And that's the show that I listen when I'm driving to the studio every Wednesday. I listen to Folk Song Fiesta. I've actually got Roll on Columbia in my head right now because he was playing a tribute from several Acoustic Sundays ago. This has been going on for 30 years now, the Acoustic Sunday Live, with a bunch of folkies together during the big finale, doing Woody Guthrie songs.
Right.
And I've got Roll on Columbia, Roll on in my head right now, and now you do too. So congratulations on that. But none of those people are playing this weekend.
Well, it's quite a mix, though. Shamika Copeland is a blues queen, absolute blues queen from New York, actually, and her father was a blues guy, and she carries on that tradition boldly and brazenly, and she's really something. James McMurtry is an amazing lyricist, songwriter from Texas. He's playing. There's Alice and Freebo. They're like a folk duo. There are some locals. We have Jimmy Davis singing. And then, I don't know, for me, what I'm most excited about, and this is why I wrote about this guy, Bobby Rush is going to be singing. And he's... just this year released a collaboration with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And so they're going to be playing together. And I've been listening to that record. This week's music feature is about them primarily. And I have to say, it's amazing. It's one of the best current day blues records I've heard in a long time. And, when you think of Bobby Rush, you don't necessarily think of social activism, political firebrand. But actually, he has a real political edge, although he's a good time blues guy, and known for, women throwing panties at him and whatever, and he gets down and dirty in his solo records and, in his live shows. But he really does have this social awareness and activist presence, too. And we talked about that. If you'll read this week's music feature, you can hear him talk about the water situation in Jackson, Mississippi, where he lives, and their ongoing struggles to have clean water, over and over since 2021. They've had these boil water warnings, and it's been a real travesty down there. So he is really tuned into that, and he's a big backer of the newly elected mayor, who is taking the bull by the horns, according to Bobby, in terms of reforming the water system and making clean water available to everyone. So that ties right into Acoustic Sunday Live, because the beneficiary, as it has been for many years now, is Protect Our Aquifer, which is a brilliant grassroots group trying to stop any exploitation or pollution of this precious Memphis sand aquifer from which we get all our drinking water.
And people need to know, hopefully you already know, we sit on top of one of the biggest reserves of fresh water on the planet. The aquifer, the St. Memphis Sands Aquifer, is about as big in volume as Lake Superior. It's huge. It's huge, and it's extremely valuable, and that's why, and it must be preserved, because it is seriously some of the cleanest water on the planet. We have the best water in the country. Hey, finally we're number one for something that's not negative.
And yet it's shocking how out of tune with that situation so many politicians and investors can be, who want to say, oh, let's set up this pond for toxic wastewater above the aquifer. You know? It'll never leak. You know,
put a bunch of mercury and radioactive coal ash from the old Allen thermal plant. Let's put that in a big pond and just let that seep through into the purest drinking water on the planet. Yeah, that's not. Really. So we're gonna raise money for that on Sunday with Acoustic Sunday Live. What I wrote about this week was the new Knives Out film. Daniel Craig used to be James Bond as a Benoit Blanc, a Southern Fried detective. And it is written and directed by Rian Johnson, who did The Last Jedi. And this is the third Knives Out film. And I've been a fan of all of them. All of them. They are just straight up like Agatha Christie level, like mystery stories. And like I said, Shara, thank you for saving me from myself, because Agatha Christie is Christie and not Christy, as I did it in my draft. I noticed you fixed it. So thank you. It's a locked room mystery. And it's also about organized religion. Josh O'Connor is the lead, and he's great. And listen, Daniel Craig is the lead, but it's sort of a co-lead situation because Josh O'Connor really walks away with this movie a lot. And it's got, of course, Glenn Close is in it, who's amazing. It's Thomas Hayden Church, like the usual. Mila Kunis as the police chief, which is really interesting. But it's a fantastic film. Highly recommended.
There's something great about a locked room mystery in the Agatha Christie tradition where things just fit together like clockwork. You know, the little details you thought were insignificant, they come back around. And I love that construction of the finely crafted mystery. Like
Absolutely. That. And that's one thing that is great about this film. It is finely crafted. It is like, the screenplay is probably the best screenplay for me of the year. I got to do my Southeastern Film Critics Association top 10 awards next week. So I've been thinking about all this, and I've been cramming all the last minute films that I've missed over the year. This is the season when my inbox is full of screener links, and every day I get a box of DVDs from PR people. So I've got it's more screener links this year than in DVDs, but seriously, my DVD stack is like this big right now.
Poor guy.
But
what's a DVD?
That's what DVD. Yeah, it is an ancient it's not. People still use Blu-rays and still use DVDs.
Thank goodness. It's one realm where the physical media is still
reigns. There. It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still there. And I think I have a whole rant that I will go on in the paper at some point about this. But I think I see these studios just leaving money on the table with theatrical and leaving money on the table with physical releases all the time. And anyways, it bugs the hell out of me, especially with theatrical though. It's Netflix, and this is a good example. This is a Netflix movie. Netflix paid Rian Johnson $450 million after the first Knives Out film to do 2 more locked room mysteries. And the whole point of these Agatha Christie mysteries is they're cheap to produce. like that's why they did it in Hollywood for so long, because they're just super cheap. It's just people talking in a room, you know?
Yeah. Is there any CGI in the new one?
I mean, there's some special effects sequences and stuff, but nothing like, I mean, they don't go into space. You know, although
thank goodness, that would be jumping the shark.
That's how you can tell. That's one of the ways. One of the classic ways you can tell when a film series has gone too far is when they go into space and they didn't start out in space. like Fast and the Furious, when they went out into space, I was like, okay, you guys are done. But so that's what's in the paper this week, and y'all should seek out one of the 300 boxes we have around town with the physical copies, or go to memphisflyer.com and read all this. But I do want to get a plug in real quick for your cover story in the December Memphis Magazine. He profiled Carla Thomas, the queen of Memphis soul.
Oh, yes. What an honor. What an honor it was to spend an afternoon with her and just hear about her storied life in soul music, and her father, Rufus Thomas, her brother, Marvell, her sister, Vanice. What a family, and just what a life Carla has led.
Oh my God, yes.
And, it was one thing, of course, just to hear the origin story of how she came to sing Gee Whiz. It started with her and her father, Rufus, just checking out this new studio known as Satellite at the time, later to become Stax Records. And Jim Stewart, the co-owner of Satellite, said, "Hey, Rufus, you still record things?" And they ended up, he said, "Oh yeah, I got a song in my glove compartment." That was a nice detail from Carla. So he goes out to his car, he had a demo tape, played it for Jim, and they recorded kind of a ballad that Rufus had written. And then they sat at the piano and he wrote "'Cause I Love You," which was so good and funky and groovy that they made that the A-side. And it was really the first hit, regional hit on Satellite. And then that caused Jim Stewart to say, "Well, how about Carla? Does she have anything?" And, years before, as a 17-year-old, she had written this little ditty called "Gee Whiz, Look at His Eyes." And that was a massive hit for this little Memphis label. It was distributed by Atlantic, and, it was in the top 10 pop charts. And, she never looked back. She was always creating, singing beautifully expressive soul music from that point on. But the interesting thing I gathered from her, and you can read about this in the magazine, was how much she was just a general person of the arts. She wasn't, laser focused on a singing career. Really, and that might be part of the magic of her delivery and her lightness. But she, she went on to study at Tennessee State University in Nashville, and then Howard University in Washington, D.C., studying Renaissance literature. When she was in Washington, she would go up to New York all the time, see Broadway shows. She studied acting with Strasberg. She was just a true Renaissance woman, or you could even say a Renaissance queen. And it's really a delight speaking with her, and her very learned view of the world. She's really, really something.
And, Carla's a big movie fan.
Yes.
She hangs out at, or she used to, I used to see her all the time at Studio and Square. She saw everything. Everything.
Yeah, there was I think a news item in the flyer back before I wrote for the flyer that got my attention. How there was the movie, was it just called Baby? Or Baby Driver.
Baby Driver,
and
yeah.
they used
Edgar
her
Wright
old
movie.
hit B.A.B.Y.
Yeah.
from the Stax days. And, she was a great champion of that movie. And she talked in that article in the flyer about, and this is, 20 years ago or more, what a thrill it was for her music to be in the soundtrack of a major motion picture. And, she's really tuned into the cinematic world and history.
And the great film. And please read that in Memphis Magazine. That's on the stands right now. You can subscribe. I subscribe. Do you subscribe?
Yes.
We both subscribe. And anyways, that's a lot of stuff for you to do. So you got some homework. We will see you next week on the Memphis Flyer podcast. See ya.